Brazil. A weekly show by Geisa Fernandes.
Episode 17. Setting the stage literally on fire. A talk about the importance of rehearsal and how to control yourself during live performances. So you got that gig on that very nice place and you want it to be special and you take care of all the details around it, from light and sound technicians to what to wear, makeup, name it, and you got it checked on your list. The big day arrives, and before the performance, you are there in the theater, on stage, checking for details, light, sound, the position of the microphone, where your staff will be, where the set list will be, can you read it? Fine. So, the big moment arrives, and the first song is a killer. Everything is under control. You said already hi to your audience, and the musician had already started the intro for the second tune. So far, so good. Then you start the second tune. There we go. But slowly you kind of feel a certain warmth coming from your right. And apparently the light technician started to have some new ideas because you really feel there is a kind of extra light coming from the right side of the stage. Important detail, the musician is on my left side. But I keep singing. The audience is concentrated. Okay, let's go on with the tune. Oh, but there is something going on, definitely. And then I kind of get a very quick look to my right side, cutting the eye connection to the audience. And then, for my big surprise, I see that my scarf is on fire, literally on fire. The flames were not so high, so I thought I could control them by folding my scarf together. Well, if you don't think it was a good idea, try to think clearly while singing a song, the second one, and this big gig you've planned for months. Now, on second thoughts, I think it was a kind of silly idea, but it was the best thing I could come up with. And P.S., I didn't stop singing, I just took advantage of a very short solo moment of the tune. Okay, let's get back to the picture. The musician is playing joyfully, so I figured out he sees nothing. The audience, well, I cannot say exactly what the audience sees or not because there's this stage fog already blocking my view. But one thing is for sure, I could not kill the flames by folding the scarf, for I see they are now even brighter, indicating that the flames are now higher. Brief solo moment of the tune, it's about to end and I have to decide in fractions of seconds if I'm gonna walk one step forward and go back to the microphone and finish the tune, or interrupt the song, not coming back after solo and trying to do something because, well, it was not only the problem of the burning scarf and flames, the other objects, scenic objects on that tiny table, they were absolutely flammable and the thing could really get to some very unwished proportions very quickly. And I knew that if someone would all of a sudden cry, "Fire!" then it would be the end of the performance because, panic would be installed in the room. And dear listener, at that moment I thought exactly the same thing that you are thinking right now. This gig is over. But no, proving that sometimes there's a place for happy endings also in real life, someone from the production saw it. Came very, very discreetly from behind the stage to the tiny table, folding the scarf together and bringing it away. And because the light spot was totally on me, no one really saw it. Happy end! Haha! What about me? You bet I sang that song beautifully up to the very last note. I didn't miss the tempo, I didn't forget the lyrics. I knew what I was doing. When I told the story to the musician after the show, he said, "No way! I didn't realize it." Believe it or not. Now let's come to in which lessons were learned with this quite peculiar experience. First one, the importance of rehearsing. And I'm not talking about setlist rehearsal, playing the songs over and over until everything sounds just right, that's for sure. I'm talking about stage rehearsal, and that would include putting up the clothes you're going to wear on the day, or at least the similar ones. And why that, you must be asking yourself? Well, because then you're going to have a concrete idea of how your movements are going to be affected. Of course, the bigger your band is, the more important this thing is. And even for me, in this duo presentation, I repeated over and over every single change of scenic objects. Flowers I was carrying the first tune, the scarf I was wearing the second, the third one, and the fourth one this, and the fifth one that. Any kind of movement on stage should be planned and rehearsed, and again, once more rehearsed. Okay, now we're gonna say, you're all with this rehearse talk, and how come your scarf was on fire? Well, the first and most sincere answer is, I really don't know. My best guess is that when I rehearsed, the air conditioning was not as potent as at night, so maybe it was simply more windy on stage, and that's how a flame found its way to the scarf. I really don't know. I was kind of frightened for fractions of seconds, and the decisions I had to make were, at least for me, very difficult because they involved the security of people in the first place. They involved my responsibility as a producer, because as an indie artist, usually I am the own producer of my shows. Well, it involved a lot of ethic questions and a lot of time investment, not to talk about the money investment, but a lot of effort to make that gig happen in the best possible way. Which brings us to lesson number 2. Being on stage automatically means that you have to face decisions all the time, and it doesn't really matter how many rehearsals you did. There's always room for the unexpected. Remember, with great powers come great responsibilities. And now comes lesson number 3. The frontman, vocalist, band leader, the main person on stage, has a responsibility similar to the one that, let's say, a captain does. Ever heard of mindfulness? Well, if there's a place for exercising focus, that's the stage, my friend. Please don't get me wrong, I know that I've been saved by a staff member, so I know that every person has a very important role in any kind of production. What I'm saying is that I was aware of the situation and therefore able to make a move, even if it would be to grab the musician and take him out of the stage. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you're gonna have the best decisions and ideas under pressure. No, not at all. But I'm saying that being there, being focused on what you're doing, it's maybe the most important thing on stage. So forget about that mindless diva that will get drunk 5 minutes before the performance. Being on stage is huge. It's a huge honor, and it's a huge responsibility as well. So if you consider yourself a real artist, keep that in mind and take it seriously. But now let me tell you about the show. It was amazing, it was beautiful. It was the release of my new EP called La Nueva Milonga. A milonga is a place to dance, as well as the name of the rhythm that you can dance there. The show and the EP are a result of the project I've been conducting on researching Latin American rhythms, especially those from South America, the extreme South one. From the Gaucho border of Brazil, all through Uruguay and Argentina. And the final treat is, guess what? Our final treat today is the single La Nueva Milonga that gives name to the EP. It is the Spanish version of Carioca, a tune from the 30s. The version is from Santiago Tabela, who produced the EP, and it's also featured in the song. I'm very proud of this project. I really hope you enjoy it. There will be links in the description. Don't forget to leave your comments, please. Till next week, and for now, beijo and viva la nueva milonga!
¿Oíste la nueva milonga? No es ni una rumba ni una conga, el nuevo ritmo melancólico que te hace suspirar. Tiene una cadencia tramposa que te hace pensar cualquier cosa. Bailando con tu nuevo amor verás el fuego en su mirar. Soñar con la nueva milonga, soñar, besar y suspirar. Soñar con la nueva milonga. Cuando se apague la luz no me vas a ver más. Con dos cabezas la cosa empieza mucho mejor que por una cabeza, por un abrazo suspirando que sos mía, mientras la nueva milonga nos haga bailar, milongueando hasta que empiece a clarear. Después de la nueva milonga, no quieras más rumba ni conga, ni rock and roll, polka, ni cumbia, chacarero, perico. Para mañana estará claro, la nueva milonga es tu nuevo amor. Cuando la bailes con un nuevo amor, habrá amor solo para vos. Soñar con la nueva milonga, soñar, besar y suspirar. Soñar con la nueva milonga. Cuando se apague la luz no me vas a ver más.
How to be indie in Brazil. A weekly show by Geisa Fernandes.